So, really, the moral of the story is Roadhead leads to the end of the world. Well, shit. Hello, everyone. Terrence here with Hollywood Already Did. If you haven't already, go ahead, like, share, subscribe to the channel, ring that bell below. Anytime we have something, you'll be among the first to know. Zack Snyder's a busy man. One film was completely in the can a long time ago, and he got to tinker with it, play with his toys. Warner Brothers gave him a truck, said, go do something. We won't allow you to play with all the other toys that you want to play with, but go ahead and finish what you were doing, because people seem to want that. And then shut up. And we finally got to see the Justice League the way that he intended, which, if you've seen in the channel, I actually appreciate it. I am a 50-50 Zack Snyder fan. I enjoy the 300 Watchmen, the visuals of Sucker Punch, even though it's a terrible movie. Um, Side of Zack, and I don't like the DC stuff. But what I really love from him, and this is where I fell in love, and I was like, I want to watch him. And I know there's a good director in there. Is his version of Dawn of the Dead. I love that movie. I still watch it. I own it. It's one of my favorite films. So Zack going back to the zombie world, I was like, all right, then let's see if he goes back to sort of square one where everything started. Let's see how he does. And I will say this: I thoroughly enjoyed the zaniness and violence that was given to me in Army of the Dead. So, for those who don't know, Army of the Dead stars Dave Bautista as a father, Scott Ward, who is given an opportunity to make some money for himself. But to do so, he needs to sort of put together a team, like an Ocean's 11 esque team. And we sort of see him going to collect everybody. He puts the team together to go into a Vegas casino and collect some money that is underneath in a vault that no one is really accounting for anymore because insurance has sort of already paid that out because Vegas has been overrun by the dead. And so they have to go in there and they have to go in there and take matters in their own hands and get that money. And so it is fun to sort of see there's this film sort of broken up into three parts or three styles, three genres. It's the zombie film, which everybody sort of knows going in. It's the Ocean's 11, where we're going to Vegas. We have a casino heist, and that's sort of the new way of getting him in there. And there's also a little father daughter reconciliation film in there with Scott and his daughter to sort of right the wrongs that they've had in the past. And it all blends pretty well. Like I don't really have an issue with any of the blending and merging from genre to genre. I will say you can tell that Zach's having fun. It's good to see Zach not in one of those situations where he's doing a bunch of muted colors and muted schemes. He's letting colors pop. He's letting the Vegas colors pop. But there's a world that he is clearly trying to build here, and I am all I am all here for it. I think the standout for me in this is definitely Dave Bautista. He's for sure grown as an actor, it's clear that he's taking his craft serious. I know it sounds silly to say that in a zombie film, but there are moments where this movie slows down and gives him some emotional beats with he and his daughter sort of coming to grips with how they ended up in the situation they are in, and sort of the coda that happens in the back end of the film. Even more so, it's like, oh, Dave, you're putting in work. You've come a long way since just being the quiet guy on James Bond's train, causing all kind of havoc. So, kudos to you, sir. And the rest of the cast rounds out well. There's obviously everybody's holding up what they are supposed to be doing for the team. You got your comedy relief, you got your antagonist, you got this, and this. But that is not why you're here. You're here to see the zombies, and I will say for sure, Zach has lost his damn mind in a good way. There is violence and some cool ass action sequences. Even when people you know are going to like probably getting bit off, they go out like G's. And there's a kitchen sequence in here that is phenomenal. There's a casino late run action sequence with Batista and some slow. Zach's got to go slow mo. Some slow mo stuff that just looks badass. Um, there are different levels to the zombies for this run. We have zombies that are sort of the basic run of the mill, quote unquote, not intelligent ones. Then you got sort of the queen and the king, and they work more in pack. They're a lot more intelligent, a lot more stronger than I typically remember any other uh, zombie films to have zombies be. But the biggest thing here, I think that everybody's sort of been talking about, is that damn zombie tiger, which fits because I was like, why the hell would you have a zombie tiger when I'm watching the trailers? But then I'm thinking, if they play off of the one thing that we all know with Vegas that's sort of synonymous with Vegas is Siegfried and Roy, uh, that tiger turning into a zombie would make a lot of sense. And lo and behold, that's what you got. And there's a lot of show of the zombie tiger, and you're like, oh, we're never going to get to see it in action. And then you do. And my God, it is violent. And it is glorious. If that alone is worth the price, I think there's a lot of other good stuff here, but if that alone is the price of admission as well, there's some fun action sequences, some helicopter sequences, like anything you can think you can put into a film where Zombie World is sort of thrown into here. I will say this though, uh, I still appreciate Dawn of the Dead more because it's smaller, it's more intimate, it's a little bit more contained. This is definitely Zach saying, "Hey, I'm going back to the zombie world, and I've got money now, and people let me do what the hell I want to do. I'm going to do everything I can." And so, with that, you get a running time that is damn 2 hours and 40, like just very long. It's 2 hours plus. There's usually about 35 to 40 minutes of this film that could have been cut off, and I think you would have still gotten to the gist of what this movie was supposed to be about. It's just little too long. There are parts you can cut. There are just tighten up scenes where you can easily shave off 20. Uh, I know that they are trying to show us the world of the zombies and sort of how they are coming to grips and how smart they are and how they run into packs. I don't necessarily need to see every one of those scenes. You can sort of keep that on the cutting room floor since we're here for the protagonist, if you will. We don't really need to see the world of the antagonist every single time. I think you can level that out a bit. But otherwise, it's a very enjoyable experience. I do know that there is a world that Zach is trying to build. There's a prequel film coming out that he didn't do, but he produced. There's an anime coming out, and based on sort of the coda that we get at the end of it, stay after the credits. You're watching these at home, so there's where the hell are you going? But stay after the credits. There's a sequence that happens at the end that sort of says that this could go on, and I think I would like to have Zach continue on with this. This is a world where he can do what he wants. There doesn't seem to be anybody watching him or telling him you need to do this, this, and this, and that. Since it's not characters that are beloved to a franchise, he can sort of do what he wants, and I think that gives him a little bit more leniency, and a little bit more carte blanche to do what it is he wants to do. And I think that's probably what's best for Zach. This is a very fun zombie flick. If you like zombie movies, you're gonna have a ball with this. On my scale of once is enough, play it again, Sam. Give me a time stone, so I never have to think about this film again. This is definitely a play it again, Sam. I'm probably gonna run this back at some point in time. Not with my wife around because she hated it and hates zombie movies, but that's her. If you're into zombie movies, I think this is gonna be one for you. This is definitely one that I enjoyed, and I'm glad to see Zach. I would think that in a year, in a time when Zach was getting beat up a lot, even by me. Man of Steel, I don't like. BVS, I thought was terrible. It is, and Justice League, the theatrical one was sort of a mismatch. Wasn't really on him, but Justice League, his complete vision and this are definitely two films where I am starting to see the Zach that I loved with Dawn of the Dead uh, return to form and get back into a groove, and I'm here and happy to see what he does next. As long as he gets some help on the screenwriting stuff, where it's not just him. I'm looking at you, Sucker Punch. Whew, I think he's gonna have a good rest of his career as he goes on. Did you guys see Army of the Dead? What did you guys think about this latest film from Zack Snyder, only on Netflix? Go ahead and your comments and thoughts in the comments below. If you haven't already, you can follow us on Twitter at HollywoodADI. You can hit us up on email at HollywoodAlreadyDidIt@gmail.com. We also have a podcast with the same name. That's on Google Podcasts, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, anywhere that plays podcasts. We're there. You're probably going to see us talk about Saw and the Saw franchise on this next episode, but you'll find that here on YouTube as well. But like always, I got my ticket. You got yours.